So we're up to the resume, and I know this is not the most exciting subject to talk about, so that's why I've split this one into two parts. And don't forget, this is all part of the Candidate Digital Library, a library full of videos which is going to get you job ready for 2020. So if you want to get access to all the videos, just drop me a message. So first up, we're going to go through the basics of the resume. Let's call this video Resume 101. And the second video is all about how to set your resume and how to inject it with steroids. Because yeah, you can't go deciding what colour to paint the walls before you've laid good foundations. Is that a bit cheesy? You have one page, maybe 2 pages maximum, to grab as much attention as possible. And that attention, that's diminishing by the day. So the human being was reported to be able to have an attention span of 20 seconds in the year 2000. Come 2019, it's reported to be down at 8 seconds. So 8 seconds before somebody focuses on something else. So you want to grab the hiring manager's eyes and force them into your resume and keep them on there as much as possible. Because the more attention that they give your resume, the more chance you've got of getting that first date. Okay, so the basic structure. Start off at the top with your name, your contact details about yourself as well, and then just have a 2 to 3 line brief blurb about yourself, who you are, what you've done before, what interests you about the role. And make sure we're including the hiring manager's details and their name in there, and also some of the company details. We're all about getting them bonus points by personalizing this as much as we possibly can. Next up, we want to include our most recent and relevant work experience. So we're going to have 3 headline jobs at the top. So when you're doing it, let's make sure you headline what your role was there, what the company was, and the day that you worked there. Put that one in bold. Underneath, I'm going to put a 2 to 3 line written blurb about what I did there, just kind of summarize it, and then I'm going to have 2 to 3 bullet points of what my key roles were and any key achievements that I had in that role. So I said, that's kind of like headline work experience, include 3 of them there. And then underneath you can put all your other roles in there. Just briefly put your title, the company and the date that you worked there. And then just right on the bottom, if you need any more information, let me know. Because we don't want to be using heaps and heaps of paper for information which is pretty relevant to the role that we're applying for. And then we go on to our qualifications. Much the same as the above, we're going to put the most relevant and recent at the top. So once again, in bold, include what the course was, what the degree was, where you attained that, what university or college that was, and the date as well. So you put the most recent at the top, listing all the way down, and obviously any that are not as significant, just kind of list them, or even right at the bottom for further information, please let me know. As I say, we want to keep their attention on things which are going to be relevant to the role that we're applying for as much as possible. So let's make sure we put that at the top of the list and we're bolding that out as well. And then we've got the any other business section. So this is where you can include a bit of information about yourself. I know a lot of gurus say you shouldn't do that, this is all about work, why are you telling them about your sports or hobbies? But I think you've got to give somebody a bit of an interest because they want to make sure that you're a cultural fit as well. So my personal opinion, and it's my video so we'll go with that one, is you're going to include 2 to 3 lines about who you are, the makeup that you have, maybe some of your characteristics, and what you like to do outside of work. What gets you ticking over, what motivates you away from work. And finish off with some information about where the hiring manager can find out a bit more about yourself. Maybe you include the links to your social media. Just make sure you've done a bit of a sweep before you do that one. Include any blogs which will be relevant to the role that you've applied for. And then with your LinkedIn, include any links to any articles or posts that you've made which will be relevant on your LinkedIn as well. Just before I go, just remember what we're trying to do is grab the hiring manager's attention. And so think they're going to be looking through hundreds of resumes. Most of them visually will be white and black printed on, and they'll be in Arial text. So we want to grab their attention. So just run your resume through an app like Canva, add a bit of jazz to it, let's say, and that's going to really grab their attention and keep it for longer. So that wraps up part 1. Tune in for part 2 of the resume, where we're going to be talking about how to set your resume and how to put it on steroids.